Hey guys, Civilord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Rebirth General Zod, brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys. An oldie, but in my opinion, a goodie, and a rather underrated goodie from this line, because, gotta be honest with you, there's not much they could have done to make this figure any better, other than some quality control maybe, but there might be a fix for that, we'll see. But at any rate, why don't we cut right to the chase, get into the meat and taters of this review, and take a look-see at all Zod has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with this collectible trading card. Right there. And for those of you who don't know, Zod is a Kryptonian, strapped in the Phantom Zone, and comes out to kick the crap out of Superman. For what his ancestors did to him, I guess, or parents, or family, or fellow Kryptonians, whatever. I don't know, I never gave a crap about Zod. I always thought he was kind of stupid. Oh, it's evil Superman, what do you freaking do? Like, we got Bizarro, we got him, to an extent you also got Doomsday, and then Cyborg Superman. Like, how many of Superman's villains are just evil variations of him? That gimmick is cool for like the first couple, like Spider-Man's got Venom, Spawn's got Redeemer, heck, Ghost Rider's got Vengeance. But Superman's got like all these other freaking guys that it's just like, really? It's like when you're so powerful, your rogues gallery just consists of copy-pastes of you with some different looks aesthetically, then you're not an interesting character at all. Like, I'm sorry. Superman is overrated and can suck a fatty. But that said, what can also suck a fatty is my incompetent boob ass for not being able to track down Zod's other hands. He has a pair of open hands and a pair of grip hands. So he's got the fists on him now. Unfortunately, those other hands are buried in a bag in a box somewhere. And I gotta tell you, I'm just too damn lazy to give a crap about those. So you're gonna have to bear with me on the fact that, yeah, he does not have his alt hands present for this video. Not like you're gonna use those, but he's only got two arms. I will tell you though, Josh from before did a video of this figure, and you can use those hands on the Rebirth Batman to give him a pair of fists, or a pair of open hands, or a pair of grip hands if you so choose. I'm sure they work on a lot of other figures with hands his size, but you know, that's just a good example, and I wanted to give credit where credit was due. So taking off his hockey puck display stand, which we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases. At least I had that in the card, right? This figure looks a lot like Russell Crowe. Well, I think would be a really sick Zod, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, unfortunately, just like the Nolanverse, we got that unfortunate train wreck known as Man of Steel. Either way, as far as his articulation is concerned, his head, some of the double ball pegs, so he can look side to side, he can look up and down, tilt side to side. Shoulders will go up about that far. Can I move this pauldron over the cape? You can move the pauldron over the cape and get more range, but that's not how that's supposed to sit. Is it? The pauldron's supposed to be on the outside of the cape? I don't think so. I think the cape's supposed to be sitting over him, so we'll just leave it like that. Can rotate. He does have that butterfly in there, but you're not going to get a lot out of it. He does have a bicep swivel, not hindered by the pauldron, so that's cool. Double elbow, that works fine. Ball hinge wrists, so you can hinge, rotate at the base, and then rotate at the handle. A little tricky because of the gauntlet. I will say on this side, mine was glued in place, so I had to heat it up carefully and then pretty much peel this gauntlet off to get to the arm. And then eventually I was able to get the ball hinge out of there. Because, yeah, there was a ton of excess glue on it. Diaphragm joint allows him to move this far forward, this far back. It's not the loosest thing ever, but it could be tighter. I will say his waist is kind of loose. It can turn, and it does have tight points, but it does have a tendency to lean back. I'm assuming due to the back weight. I don't know, but He does have a bit of flop in the waist, but it's in the waist, not the diaphragm, so it's not that bad. And I think I can hit that with something to tighten it up, or maybe even heat pinch the waist to tighten it up. He does have T-jointed hips, so they will kick out, they'll kick down, forward and back pretty well. He does have a little thigh cut in there. Double knee. Not too chunky on the knees, it's just got the knee pad. Then he does have a ball hinge foot, which will rotate, hinge, pivot, and then he's got the toe joints. Not very tight in the feet either. This one especially. So, again, maybe some adhesive will fix that. Maybe my good buddy McFarlane will be able to fix that. But either way, I'm not bothering him with that right now. This figure's in storage. I just took him out because I needed to kill a day for videos, you know? For video's sake. But that said, I think this figure is still pretty good. He's well sculpted, got enough paint, I think. Looks very, very nice on the shelf. He just has some looseness here and there, but, you know, some people are okay with that and don't mind their figures falling on their ass all the time. Excuse me, falling on their ass. So, with that being said, it's time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's good old General Zod alongside a fellow Superman villain that led to the fall of Krypton, depending on what source material you're looking at that is. And of course, I'm talking about none other than Brainiac from Injustice 2, and another figure I haven't looked at yet on the channel. Maybe someday, though, because he's a really cool figure, and the only other Brainiac we have in this line is part of that Page Punchers Ghosts of Krypton wave, I believe. And that one's just a drone. It's not actually Brainiac himself, so there's that, I guess. And a very sizable figure, too, that Brainiac. Really, really cool release. And then we have the Action Comics 1000 Superman from the 2-pack with Atomic Skull, just to show you what General Zod looks like alongside a Superman, what is regarded as one of the better Superman figures in this line. At least for me, personally. Get them out of the way. So we can make way for our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibolith, and the infamous Elephant Spawn, who, as usual, he's not towering, but he's about neck and neck with old Zod there. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I do still believe that good old General Zod here is a bit on the underrated side, nobody really talks about this figure, despite the fact that, aside from some quality control issues with my particular figure, he's a pretty solid release from the DC Multiverse line brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys. There's not a lot of McFarlaneisms going on with this particular figure, and I think for the most part, it's a pretty solid rendition of a character that I could give a rat's arse about. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.